Hey y'all, welcome to the Feeling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity. I always say to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, and as you can see, we came and we test this area of 1739, 1737, only to get rejected, right? We knew we could have trouble in this place. So where are the trouble places as of right now for the VIX? We just broke out of a gathering spot back to the upside, only to get rejected. So as of right now, pre-market support is here at the 1721, which is right where this 5 EMA is. So that's kind of like an area of support for us. Let's go to the upside. If by chance we go back above the 1737, just know, or that 1739 area, just know we could have trouble around 1755. If we should break that 1755, it can bring us back to a previous gathering spot here around the 1790 and the 1803 area. So I would definitely watch that for the VIX. If we break that 1803, we can come back to another gathering spot here around 1832 and 1844. So those are places to the upside for the VIX. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under this 5 EMA and this level here of 1721, this here, I would definitely watch this area of 1718 or 1714. Under 1714, we can have trouble around the $17 range, under $17, 1688, and again here at 1672. I would definitely watch the 1672 area for the VIX. Now, let's go look at the SPY. We normally look at the VIX just to get an idea of what's going on with the SPY, right? So looking at the SPY on this 30-minute chart, SPY was an inside or is an inside day candle, and we've already reached the target to the downside, right? So where are the trouble places for the SPY? We closed at 571.47. We have a down pre-market low here of around 569.80. So that's interesting that the target was 569.90. So are we going to continue to the downside, or are we going to find support here and move back to the upside? So let's look to the upside. If by chance we break back above this area of 571.42, just know we can have trouble around 570.65. If we break that 570.65, 571.05, which is right here where this 20 EMA is. If we break back above 571.20, in my opinion, 571.20 and 571.40 was kind of like a strong area of support for the SPY. And we could see because price kept coming back to this area, right? So if we break back above this 571.20, just know 571.40 is going to be another trouble place, which is kind of where that 50 EMA is coming right now. So above the 571.40, 571.59, above 571.59, 571.88, above 571.88, 572.12, and if we break above that 572.12, we know the ATR trailing stop is forming here at 572.25. Those are places that I would definitely watch for the SPY. Now, can we go back or continue to the downside? Absolutely. I say in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Now, if by chance we break back under 569.90, just know that this area here of 569.73, under 569.73, we can come back to 569.21, 569.03, 568.69, and 568.46. Those are going to be trouble places for the SPY to the upside and to the downside. Now, SPY normally moves about $5.80 per day. Let me look, and y'all disregard this daily chart. $5.96 per day on average. And again, that could be in either direction. So if you trade the SPY today, trade carefully. Now, we are now looking at Tesla. Tesla closed at 560.46, and we have a pre-market high here of 562.40. Now, if by chance, Lord, it looks as if we have broken out of a gathering spot, let's say that, to the downside, and it looks like we're finding support here on this 50 EMA. We did bounce off this ATR trail and stop. So is this going to be our support area to move us back to the upside? That's something to be mindful of. And Tesla too is an inside day candle. So let's look back to the upside for Tesla. If we get back above this area, which is the 5 EMA, the 20 EMA, and a previous resistance area that we had marked. So that's our trouble place as of now. If by chance we break above, let's say the 560 06 area. If we break above 560.06, just know that we could possibly have trouble, around, let's say, the 560.59 or 560.70. We could definitely have trouble in that area, 560.70. If we should break above that, 561.52. Again at 561.75, 562.70. and 563.60. If we break 563.60, 564.58. If we break that 564.58, just know 565.55, and again here at 566.54. Now Tesla normally exceeds its ATR for the day, so that's something to be mindful of. That means the average true range for Tesla, it normally exceeds that in either direction. Let me say that, right? So let's see to the downside. If by chance we break back under this level of 258.22, under 258.22 here, we could very well have trouble in this area. And I'm going to bring this, yes. So Tesla has a lot of support around the 257. I don't know why I keep saying 257.17, 257.05, 257.05, and 256.96. I would definitely watch Tesla in this area. If by chance we break this, I'm going to set my alert under this level. If by chance we break this, then we have broken through some levels of support for Tesla. Now, under this 256.96 area, if we break that level, just know 255.98, again at 254.77, and back at 253.84. Under 253.84, we can come back and retest 252.77. Under that 252.77, we can come back to this 200 EMA at the 251.83. So I would definitely watch Tesla. Okay, I would definitely watch Tesla in those areas. Now, again, Tesla is an inside day candle. The trigger to the upside was above 260.70, which would have given us a target here of 261.75. So we have already reached that target to the upside. Does not mean we cannot continue climbing or get rejected and continue to the downside. Now, if we break under 254.12, just know the downside target for Tesla is at 251.53, which is right at this 200 EMA here on this 30-minute chart. So if you trade Tesla today, y'all, I always say trade carefully. Anything is possible in the market. Nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at AMD. And if it's taking a little bit longer for my charts to load, I do apologize. We were affected and still without power, but due to the hurricane. So if you have been affected, I hope that everyone is safe. So again, we're looking at AMD, and it seems as if AMD came down and bounced off this area of support. That 560.07 is what we had marked, and let's see, 560.07. The low of this candle is 560.15. I will watch this area here. We had an up and then a bit down, so that's something to be mindful of for AMD. I always say, where are the trouble places? So back to the upside, being that we came down and tested this low here, we will definitely need to stay above the 561.02, which is the 200 the 200 EMA here on this 30-minute chart. So we bounce here back to the upside. Where are the trouble places? I always say that, right? 161.02, again at 161.34, 161.97, 162.32, 162.72, the ATR trailing stop, which is forming at 163.07, and again 163.16. So that's kind of close. The 20 EMA and the ATR trailing stop, that's here. So if it break above this level here of 163.15, that means we probably broken through, some layers of resistance. I would definitely watch this area of 163.69, above 163.69, 164.19, and if we break the 164.19 area, 164.32. Those are trouble places. 164.32. If we break that, 164.55, and again here at 164.83. As you can see, that is a congestion area of resistance, right? There's a lot of resistance to the upside. We came here only to get rejected and come all the way back to this area here. So I would definitely watch. I would set my alert above the 164.95. If we should break that, we could very well continue to the upside for AMD, but I'm not saying that's going to be the case today. Let's say that, right? So to the downside, where are the trouble places? Under 160.95, we will have trouble somewhere around the 160.75, 160.58, again at 160.39, 160.24 and around 160.07 or 160.15 area. And again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale. I do look at it on a bigger scale, but when I'm in a trade, I need to know where I'm going to have trouble. So I mark the smaller micro is what I would like to say, right, for support and resistance. So that's for AMD. And if you trade AMD, I always say y'all trade carefully. Let's look at NVDA just to see where we are today. For NVIDIA, it closed at 121.40. We are down here at 117.72 as a low, and as you can see, we bounced off an area that we had marked as support. Let me see if I can make that bigger for NVIDIA. Here we bounced off of this level of support around the 117.86 is where I had marked. The low of this candle is 117.80, which is not far. This candle tried to come down to this area of 117.60. So yeah, so where are the trouble places as of right now for NVIDIA? This was our gathering spot here. We broke out of that to the downside. So can we go back to the upside considering we found support here? Absolutely. So the trouble places to the upside as of right now is the 118.16, this 5 EMA, which is at 118.49. If we break the 118.49, we can come back to this level here of 119.17. Above 119.17, we can retest 119.72, which is right here at the 119.75 that we had marked. Above the 119.75, we can have trouble around 119.96, 120.05, 120.24, and this 200 EMA at 120.45. Now the ATR trailing stop is forming here, so if we break this level of 120.45, we could have trouble here around the 120.62, and as you can see, it's right there at a level that we already had at 120.62, right? So that's interesting to see those levels, and we're just using support and resistance, remembering or mapping out or charting out where our trouble places are and marking those gathering spots. So for NVIDIA, if you trade NVIDIA today, those are places to the upside that I would watch, Now to the downside, can we continue to the downside? Absolutely. I would say under 117.86. Yes, that 117.60. 117.22, that area is a lot of support. 117.26, 117.22, again at 116.95 and 116.34. That under 116.34, we can come back to this level of 115.38 or 115.31, 115.22. Under 115.22 for NVIDIA, we can come back to 113.73, again at 113.34 and 112.65. So those are trouble places to the upside and to the downside. And let's see how much NVIDIA normally moves per day. As of now, $4.85. Again, that could be in either direction. The ATR is 485. Let me make sure. 485 for NVIDIA. So again, y'all trade carefully today. Anything is possible. So we do have some inside day candles, and Meta is one of those. For today, I would say trade carefully if you trade Meta. We closed at 567.36, and it seems as if, as of right now, it's trading in this zone here. As we can see, price is just going, trading in this zone. And if by chance we break above the 570.83, we have an upside target for Meta at 577.64. If by chance we break under 564.25, we have a downside target of 562.06 for Meta. So if you trade Meta, trade carefully. Let's see how much it normally moves per day. $13.50. Again, that could be in either direction. And on this daily chart, it seems as if we're trading in a gathering spot. It would definitely, under this 564.38 could be our support area. But if we break that, as you can see, I have an alert set for 560.26. So if you trade Meta, I say trade carefully, y'all, because today should be an interesting trading session. Now, let's see, we did have Cisco as an inside day candle, and Cisco's closed at $53.02. And if by chance we break above 53.21, the target to the upside is 53.34. Under 52.83 gives us a downside target of 52.76. So if you trade Cisco today, CSCO, if you trade that today, trade carefully. And let's see, Mara was an inside day candle for today. Let's see. Yes, Mara is trading Mara has already reached the downside target, as you can see, and we're creating a gathering spot here. We had some buyers. Are we going to go back to the upside? That's something to be mindful of for Mara. Now, if by chance we get back above the 1684 and for some reason come back to 1794, that was a trigger to the upside. We have an upside target of 1827. Again, we have already broken through the downside, which was at that 1684, gave us a downside target of 1649. The low of this candle was 1640. That's why I always like to do the inside day candles, because it helps us build our watch list and it helps us to know where possible targets are to the upside and to the downside. Uber is also an inside day candle for today. Now, Uber closed at $75.75. If we have already reached the downside target or very close to the downside target for Uber, also under 75.70 gave us a downside target of 75.13, and we made a low of 75.19. So that's interesting, right? So can we go back to the upside? Absolutely. So if by chance we get back above 77.09, upside target of 78.47. So if you trade Uber today, again, I always say trade carefully. Walmart was also an inside day candle for today. Walmart closed at $79.78. And again, I do apologize that my charts are moving a little bit slower today. If by chance Walmart get above $80.29, the upside target is $81.21. If we break under $79.59, downside target is $79.27 for Walmart. Walmart is an inside day candle. So we're going to go back to the SPY just to see where we are. It seems as if this 569.90 is going to be a support area for us for the SPY. So I would definitely watch that, as we have tested that area before. I think it was on the 26th of September. Yes, September 26th, this was a support area for us. So is this going to hold us up? I would definitely watch the 569.71, 569.90 area. If we should break that again, we can come back to this 200 EMA around the 568.97. So that's something to be mindful of for the SPY. Again, I always say, y'all, in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. I hope these videos are very, very helpful. And I always say, I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day. And if you could, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. Until next time, y'all, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others.